This show begins with Disrespected No More already in the ring. Cedric Alexander says that he and his wolf pack, Tyler Bate and Drew McIntyre, are growing hungrier by the day. And on tonight's Shockwave, the Wolves strike. Hey, there's that pancake party. So they're growing. They're basically Cedric Alexander, Tyler Bate, and Drew McIntyre are growing hungrier by the day. And on tonight's Shockwave, the Wolves strike. Razor Ramon's music hits, and he comes out on stage. And Cedric and Drew and Tyler, they're smiling. They're wanting him to get in the ring because he's by himself. They already punked him out once, and Cedric beat him for the title. Cedric, he's smiling. He picks up his microphone. He says, Razor, did you not learn anything from our last encounter? And then HBK's music hits. And Razor has a grin on his face as Shawn Michaels comes out and stands beside Razor Ramon. Drew McIntyre, Tyler Bate, and Cedric, they get in fighting stance, and they're waiting for Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon to hit the ring. But then Triple H's music hits. In the game, the number 5 ranked and the next contender for Cedric Alexander's television title, he comes out and joins HBK and Razor Ramon. And the Clique, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and Razor Ramon hit the ringside, and a brawl breaks out between them and Disrespected No More. And they're fighting all over the place. Referees are trying to break them up. They can't do it. Eventually, the Clique fight off Disrespected No More, and Cedric, Drew McIntyre, and Tyler Bate they disappear to the back. We go to a commercial break. When we come back, our first match of the night is Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton, and here goes the Bad Guy Maddox. What a way to open up Shockwave! Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Razor Ramon taking the fight to Disrespected No More. Shawn Michaels, he's had his share of problems with Drew McIntyre. Razor Ramon has had his problems with Cedric Alexander and the Disrespected No More contingent. And Triple H is next in line for Cedric Alexander's television title. It makes sense. It just makes sense for those three to help each other out. How can I pick Bret Hart? All you got to say is, yo, Bad Guy Maddox, I want Bret the Hitman Hart, and you're going to give him to me now. I'm going to say, okay, that's fine. Cash, you can have Bret the Hitman Hart. Just don't hurt me. Don't hurt my feelings. You can have him. I don't want you to yell at me. You can also play as a woman wrestler if you'd like. You can have one male, one female wrestler. And for our Raider friends who are still here, I'm not sure if you guys are still here or not. If you are, you can also participate in our interactive universe. You don't have to know a freaking thing about pro wrestling. So we have Bret Hart as Cash 9. Bret Hart will also be in Battlefield, by the way. Any new wrestlers that join will be in the Battlefield pay-per-view. It's as simple as that. Let me just take Bret Hart off the list first before we start this show. Bret Hart's gone. All right, so we go back to our show. First match of the night, Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. How about that? Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and Razor Ramon fight off Disrespected No More. It's gang mentality in NGW. And the Disrespected No More, that they call themselves the Wolf Pack. Well, they met the original Wolves in pro wrestling. Really, the 4 Horsemen are the original Wolves, but still, we'll ignore that. We don't have 4 Horsemen yet. It really, it's interesting to see who you guys pick as wrestlers, because I like to know who you guys like playing as. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to to see your picks, man. It's interesting. I fucks with it. I'm about it. I like it. I'm all sweaty, baby. And Owens, he's not been seen since losing that tables match at Shockwave about a month and a half back. But he's back. Oh, Womble. Hey! Harpy, I told you to watch. Harpy's hyped. Harpy's hyped. Hey, oh gosh. Man, you're picking Sarah Logan. I hate saying this. I'm not a big fan of Sarah Logan. Do you guys know she's like ultra right wing? She's like into that boogaloo shit. It's crazy, man. Really, I've known Sarah Logan for a while, and when I say known, I knew her. I've seen her in her stomping grounds. I was familiar with Sarah Logan back when she was dating Madman Pondo, and she would work in Louisville every other month for a company called Destination One Wrestling. So, gosh, it sucks to see that she's like that, man. I don't try to bring politics into it, but when you start like spouting some of those weird conspiracies, it just rubs me the wrong way. No, you can have her. I'm not. Look, this is all just an interactive universe. You can play as whoever you want. I'm okay with it. You know me, Tamil. When I say I'm old school, I mean old school. I miss that wrestling. Damn, dude. Don't let Tie-Dye call you old, even though she's not wrong. Damn, roasted. Tie-Dye, get Borderlands 3 for Xbox. It's $10 at Best Buy. I need people to play Borderlands 3 with. I'm always, and then fuck Simple Surmise. That motherfucker told me, hey, if you get it for Xbox, we can play together. So I was going to get it for PS5, and then Simple sent me that message, so I got it for Xbox instead. I get home, he gets on his Xbox, he's like, where's my Borderlands 3? Oh, shit, that's right, I got it for PC. Bruh! It's $10. It's not a huge incentive at all. Harpy, I think Borderlands Handsome Collection is like $10 on PSN right now. I bought that too. The only one I don't have is the first Borderlands. That's also the only one I've never played. No, I don't think any of the Borderlands are on Game Pass. I'm watching NXT while I watch this. Let us know how NXT is. Without spoiling the results, let me know if NXT is worth watching or not. I'm about 4 weeks behind on NXT. The last thing I watched was Stand and Deliver Part 2. And Randy Orton locks up with Owens. Like I said, we have not seen Owens since that tables match. Owens dropped through that table by Cedric Alexander, and Cedric Alexander has basically put on a new personality since that night. Since that moment, it's been a different Cedric. There's a snapmare from Kevin Owens. What's up, Womble? Why is Womble screaming? What? Shut up. Punk is not back. Stop it. He ain't coming back. He's not coming back on NXT. Don't mess with me. Don't mess with me. There's a fireman's carry from Kevin. That's the old Brock Lesnar joke. So I used to be on a forum called the Pro Wrestling Buddies. We're talking the early days of like before there was a Reddit, before there was like a centralized forum. There was a forum called Pro Wrestling Buddies that was on Pro Boards. And it was just a bunch of us, like, kind of hardcore, weird, creepy pro wrestling fans. And we used to have, this was back when AOL Instant Messenger was, like, used heavily. And we would have it was ironically named. It wasn't we were all trolls. We all trolled, but it was called Pro Wrestling Buddies. And we were all weird assholes. We would, like, invade other forums and troll their forums. We weren't just, like, a pro wrestling forum. This was like before 4chan. This was like early YTMND. You're the man now, dog. And we would troll other websites, other forums, and harass people and all kinds of weird shit. But we always had a chat every pay-per-view, an AOL Instant Messenger chat, where we would watch the pay-per-view together, and every fucking month. It never failed. Once we found out that there were people in the chat who didn't have the pay-per-view, and they were just hanging out to chat and also figure out what was happening on the pay-per-view. It never failed. We would wait right until the main event started, and then someone would type in all caps, OMG, Brock Lesnar's back. What is going on? And then everyone else that was watching would fall in line like, holy shit, it's Lesnar. He's here. And there'd always be that one guy, that one or two people who had no idea what was happening, and they thought we were being dead serious. And so they would go to WWE.com and go, I don't see it. They didn't post anything. I don't see it. So imagine my shock when Brock Lesnar actually came back in 2012. That was hype. And Kevin Owens taking control of Randy Orton outside that ring. Owens, we noticed he didn't mention anything about the Kevin Owens Hall of Pain. I think that might be behind him after that devastating loss to Cedric Alexander in that tables match. And again, Cedric, what a shed of personality. Cedric, just an entirely different person, someone that I don't recognize. Is CM Punk any good? I would say CM Punk was a jack of all trades. He wasn't necessarily an expert at any one thing, but he was good at everything. All the things that you need to be a good pro wrestler. Great character, great on the microphone, was very believable on the mic. His wrestling made sense. You know, he wasn't doing suicide dives and shit outside of the ring for no reason. He had a good his fundamentals were great. He had a good foundation, and he was different. He was different, and he felt real. There weren't other wrestlers on the roster who were straight edge and were punk rock. You know, he kind of had that look. He could go. Punk could wrestle too. Don't get me wrong. His match with Cena at Money in the Bank, fantastic. I also liked his match with Cena on Monday Night Raw. They had a match on Monday Night Raw in 2013 to determine who would go to WrestleMania and wrestle The Rock. And it was awesome. Every match Punk and Cena had together was great. The SummerSlam match is good with Cena, but I'll tell you a match that I thought was even better was Punk versus Cena at Night of Champions 2012. That's when Punk was just now starting to turn heel. That one was great. There's a strike to the midsection from Owens. Owens with a clothesline dropping Randy Orton. Punk versus Taker at Mania was really good too, and honestly, they should have kept the title on Punk for that. Not because I like Punk, but they really should have presented it as streak versus streak. Because you got to remember, Punk at the time had the longest title run of any modern WWE champion, and obviously Undertaker had his WrestleMania streak. So, damn, Owens with a big win over Randy Orton. So my opinion is, if they presented that match as either Punk loses the title or Undertaker loses the streak, that would have been huge. I did no commentary on that match. We started talking. You guys brought up CM Punk, and I got going. Going on it, didn't I? Randy Orton is 0-2. And Kevin Owens, I bet you Nibbler's going to be like, man, I should have picked Kevin Owens again. Kevin Owens is now 3-2. Punk versus Jeff Hardy SummerSlam TLC match is incredible. Yes, that's a match that doesn't get talked about a lot, but it's really good. That SummerSlam is also really good. I don't think there's a lot of love for that SummerSlam. So, after the Kevin Owens and Randy Orton match, we go backstage with Vitamin E and C. Remember, that's Edge, Christian, and Orange Cassidy. Well, Edge and Orange Cassidy are still licking their wounds from their bout with the Bar at Without Honor, but then they shift the focus on Christian, who has a match coming up with The Miz tonight. Christian shows some optimism in regards to Edge and Orange Cassidy, saying that they took the Bar to their limit at Without Honor, and that, yeah, maybe they did come up short, but next time, and there will definitely be a next time, they're taking those tag team titles home. Give credit to King 3K3K. I think he came up with Vitamin E and C. I'm pretty sure he was the one who said it in chat, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, yep, that's their tag team name. I love it. Christian says, speaking of taking people to their limit, he hopes The Miz brought his A game because Matt Riddle was just the beginning. Christian then says that when he signed with NGW, he wanted to prove himself more than anything that he still has it. He's proven that he still has it, but now he has a new goal, winning championship gold. Christian will not stop until he makes that happen. We go back to the interview section of the building where Disrespected No More are pissed. Tyler Bate is throwing equipment and staff around. He's grabbing camera crew and throwing them and pushing them. He's throwing shit all over the place. And Drew McIntyre has a chair, and he's just slamming it against the ground. And Cedric, that smirk that he had at the beginning, he doesn't have a smirk now. He has a frown. He's pissed. He's pissed. Cedric says, this isn't the fight that they were expecting, in reference to Razor Ramon, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels, but it's definitely one that they're welcoming. Cedric talks about his NGW Television Championship defense against Triple H in 3 weeks. He says he wants the game to take all his time to prepare for that. Meanwhile, Drew McIntyre steps up to the camera and tells HBK and Razor Ramon that they just signed their death warrants tonight. Tyler Bate satisfyingly declares that this is exactly the type of thing they had in mind when Disrespected No More came together. And Tyler Bate has a message for Razor. Razor, you call yourself the bad guy? How bad will you be when I knock you out? And then we go to a commercial break. And when we come back from commercial break, we're going to get set up for The Miz versus Christian. Dude, I loved Orton with the punt kick. The punt kick is probably one of my favorite, like, when he hits you with the punt kick, it was over, right? Like, That was I really liked that version of Orton. That was the age of Orton. What was that? 2009. I had to look back to see if I had any waters left. I don't have any waters. I'm sad. Yes. Oh my God. Mark Henry's title run in 2011, I don't think gets enough credit. Was it 2011? It was 2011, right? Because he beat Randy Orton at Night of Champions. I think it was 2011. Jesus Christ, dude. That match with Orton at Night of Champions was great. And he had a match with the matches with Big Show were great too. Another match that I think was really good that I wasn't expecting to be any good. Go to, I want to say, Hell in a Cell 2012. Sheamus versus the Big Show for the World Heavyweight title. That match is damn good. That match was way better than it had any right to be. And I'm a big fan of Sheamus, but Big Show brought his A game that night. I just don't remember if that was the pay-per-view or not. Let me look. Yes, it was. Yeah, they went 20 minutes. They went 20 minutes that night. 2011 was like an up and down year. Let's not forget that a lot of stupid things happened in 2011 too. Yes, we had the pipe bomb, which was great. That was a great moment for pro wrestling. It definitely gave WWE an injection. But yes, you did. You beat Shayna. It gave WWE a much needed injection, but you also have to think that they did that Night of Champions match between Triple H and CM Punk, and Triple H won, and it pretty much killed all of CM Punk's momentum. Plus, Alberto Del Rio cashing in on Punk during his title run, which was dumb. Then you had that really silly Kevin Nash shit, where it was like, who sent him the text? And then he said at the very end that he snuck into Triple H's office and sent the text to himself. What? That doesn't make any sense. He sent a text to himself? There was a lot of bad shit in 2011 too. And the first half of 2011 I thought was really rough because that was the year we had that WrestleMania where it was Miz and Cena. And Miz he was like a backseat player because the story was really Cena and The Rock. And the Miz was the champion. And you don't have to like the Miz or not, but I also feel like if you're the world champ, you need to be treated like the world champ. And that's why even if my philosophy with pro wrestling is if there are wrestlers who have the world title that I'm not a fan of, that's one thing. There are plenty of guys who've had the belts that I don't like, but I do feel like that once you get the belt, you need to be treated and presented like a top-level guy. And The Miz wasn't going into that WrestleMania, and it hurt. That WrestleMania really just kind of felt like a holdover, right? It was like that WrestleMania was put together to advertise the main event of next year's WrestleMania. Not a fan. And there's an arm drag from The Miz. Miz taking control of this match. And now Miz fired off some kicks on Christian. Hitting Christian right in that chest. Beautiful kicks. A final kick to just chop at Christian's head. Christian having to slide outside of that ring. And Edge and Orange Cassidy not out here to join The Miz. Again, you can only have one manager, 1 second out there in that ring with you. No, I think they should have just made it Miz and Cena. They should have just made it Miz and Cena. And then the next night on Raw, you have Miz win. And the next night on Raw, Rock comes out and cuts a promo on Cena to set up for the next WrestleMania. Instead of having The Rock cost Cena the match, I wasn't a big fan. I don't even remember anything from that WrestleMania. There was, Taker and Triple H was probably a highlight from that show. I don't remember what else would have been. I don't remember that WrestleMania that well. But I don't recall there being too many matches worth watching. Punk and Orton was okay. But what else happened that night? My God, this was the Michael Cole Jerry Lawler show. Ugh. Oh, you know what? Edge and Del Rio had a pretty okay match. But really, it was just Undertaker and Triple H. Nah, Punk and Jericho didn't have any heat, man. I love Punk. You know Punk's one of my favorite wrestlers. He's in my top 5. We've talked about that. But there's no way in hell I'm putting Punk and Jericho as the closing. You're telling me that Punk and Jericho should have closed WrestleMania over The Rock, who had not been in a wrestling ring since WrestleMania 21, which would have been in 2004. Or no, WrestleMania 20, which would have been in 2004. You're telling me that Punk and Jericho should close the show over that? Over The Rock and Cena? I'm not even, and I think Punk is one of my favorite wrestlers, but nah. Punk was the champion, but it's The Rock, man. Come on. The Rock was the biggest act on the show. I don't care if Punk's the champion. It's The Rock. It's The Rock's first WrestleMania in what? More than like 6 or 7 years, dude. That's the closer. That's the closer. Now, I will say the second time they did Rock and Cena, they should have done a triple threat match. And it should have been a triangle elimination match. It should have been Punk, Rock, and Cena. And Punk should have been eliminated first. And then you just because, like, we already know that Rock and Cena is the story, right? That's the story that they wanted. They should have put Punk in there. Damn, dude, we're rematching that. That's a rematch. We're going to say they got back in the ring. We're trying to build Christian up. We're trying to give Christian some wins under his belt here. Oh my God, dude. They did, if you think about it, almost all of Rey Mysterio's world title wins are dirty, right? They had, I didn't see that at first key. Now I am, but yeah, they did Rey dirty. So Rey won. His first world title was on SmackDown in 2005 or 6. I don't remember. It might have been 06, I guess. It would have been 06. And, he didn't have a good run. They presented him really weakly. Like he would lose all of his matches on SmackDown because they were presenting him as an underdog. So he would lose his matches on SmackDown with the narrative that he's an underdog who, you know, like, oh, how is he going to beat Mark Henry? How is he going to beat this guy? How's he going to beat JBL? How's he going to beat Mark Henry? And then he would win on pay-per-view. And it was just really weird booking. Because, like, WWE does this, like my philosophy with, like, booking is that, like, wins and losses matter. And I know that's like a heavily debated philosophy. I think wins and losses matter. Like, could you imagine Conor McGregor winning 50% of his matches in UFC? He wouldn't be the star that he is today, right? Or if you go back to Stone Cold Steve Austin in 97, could you imagine if Steve Austin was routinely losing matches on Monday Night Raw? He wouldn't be Steve Austin. You know, he wouldn't be popular. He wouldn't be the guy. I think if you're really trying to present a guy as a top act, he needs wins. And having Rey Mysterio lose matches on SmackDown only to win at pay-per-views did not help his run. And I remember at least the internet wrestling community, parentheses, back then in 2006, I remember they hated Rey Mysterio pretty much almost as much as John Cena. And it wasn't that they hated Rey Mysterio, they didn't like the way he was presented, especially as world champion. And then his second title match, I think his second title win was it Money in the Bank? He won his second title over Jack Swagger at Money in the Bank. And then Kane came out and cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase and beat Mysterio for it. And then his third title win was that tournament on Raw where he won the tournament, won the title, and then had to defend it against Cena literally later that night. Rey Mysterio always got the short end of the stick with his title runs, man. Sir, he was called the Ringmaster. Oops. And a boot from The Miz on Christian. But Christian with a suplex. Christian has The Miz up. Oh, face first. Christian looking to continue his winning ways here tonight. But Miz with a strike to the midsection and a neck breaker, running neck breaker. Christian not quite prepared for that. And now The Miz working on that leg. Don't forget, The Miz has the figure four in his repertoire. And as a matter of fact, it looks like that's what he's going to be working for as he goes to work on Christian's leg. Christian, the Vitamin E and C, they've not had the best run here in NGW. They're finding their groove. The Edge and Orange Cassidy were able to pick up title match contention, and unfortunately they came up short against Sheamus and Cesaro at Without Honor. But Christian picked up a big victory over Matt Riddle, and he's looking to continue that with The Miz here. But with that drop kick, he might not. Miz with a 3 count here. No, 2. I thought Miz had a win. I thought that was a victory for Miz. Christian able to get his shoulder up. Miz throws a punch that's blocked by Christian. Christian follows up with a forearm, followed by a spinning elbow. But Miz catches a kick and a dragon screw. Miz has really been on his game here in NGW. A massive win over Brock Lesnar. Miz felt like he was embarrassed by Brock Lesnar at Living in Sin, and he asked for that match with Brock on Shockwave, and he shocked the world when he beat Brock Lesnar. And the Miz picks Christian up. This would be a big win for either one of these men. You have to think that neither one of these men came out to lose, and there's that knee from Miz. That might end it. Elbow drop on Christian. And the Miz has an abdominal stretch here.
This is a great way to wear down your opponent.
And there's a hip toss from Christian to counter out of it. Beautiful counter from Christian. He misses the stomp. Miz goes outside the ring. Christian follows behind. You don't want to stay outside of the ring. It's a 10 count. Miz gets back in, tosses Christian in, and follows behind him. Miz here trying to take some time to catch his breath. If I'm the Miz, I'm going to go right on the attack. I don't know why the Miz isn't doing it. Here he goes. He decides to change his course, and he throws a strike. He takes Christian's back. Christian fires back with some elbows, gets out of that back grapple. And now Christian takes Miz, slaps him, and look at that! The kill switch! He can pull it off from anywhere! Christian with a kill switch! This might be it. Christian might... No! Miz with a kick out. But that was a decisive move from Christian. That's just what he needed. And now Christian getting fired up. He fires off a series of clotheslines and a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. And now Christian, what's he doing? He's climbing the top rope. And a frog splash. And he didn't get it. Miz got his knees up. Miz able to get his knees up on that frog splash. That's why they call them high-risk maneuvers, man. That's why they call them high risk. Sometimes it doesn't pay off to climb that top rope. And there's that figure four that I was just talking about from The Miz. Christian might have to tap out here. Christian is not near, he's not close enough to those ropes to get a rope break. Wait a minute, Christian rolls it over. He rolls it over, he's able to get the leverage, and The Miz gets out of it. I always liked how that worked, like the logic of, hey, if you get put in a figure four, all you have to do is roll on your stomach, and it's going to hurt the opponent instead. I don't know if y'all have tried. As a kid, when a friend of mine put me in a figure four, I definitely tried that, where I rolled through. The shit still hurt. And there's the neck breaker from The Miz. And a snapmare from Christian. And a boot from The Miz. Christian has to slide outside of the ring. Miz follows behind him. Miz still going to work on Christian here. Some beautiful stomps from The Miz. And there's a neck crank from The Miz. If you put them in it and if you roll over, it hurts them, not the way they work in matches. I'm just saying that I follow that exact tactic in real life, and it didn't hurt any less. It actually hurt more because my back also hurt. Now, I did one time roll through a figure four because my friends and I, we would wrestle as kids, and we would actually do the moves on each other. With don't try this at home shit, they were talking to us, you know. Thankfully, we never really hurt each other, but like, we would do the submissions to each other. And obviously, if it hurt too much, we'd just say, man, that hurts. And they would, like, you know, let go. But I remember a friend put me in a figure four once. And I did that roll-through thing. And during the roll-through, the guy lost control of the lock. Christian winning by count out here tonight. And I snapped in a sharpshooter. It was awesome. I remember also one of my friends, he loved, like, his move was the Stone Cold Stunner. And when we wrestled, that was his wrestler's finishing move, and he would pop it off. And I was wrestling as Sting. That was my guy as a kid. And we had this match in after-school daycare for our title because we, of course, my nerdy ass had storylines. Me and him had storylines for our wrestlers. And so throughout the school day, we would cut promos on each other in the hallway when we walked past each other, and we knew we were having the match at after-school daycare. And I remember during the match, he tried to hit me with a Stone Cold Stunner, and I grabbed his head and blocked it. And then I dropped his arm, dropped his other arm, hooked his head, and fell back for the Scorpion Death Drop. Boy, that shit was awesome. Why do you remember this? Because I had fun. That's why. Okay, so after the match, Christian with a big win. Christian is now 2-0. Everybody throw some props to Christian. I think Charisma is going to be very happy to know that she is now 2 wins straight. She's 2-2 overall in NGW. And The Miz, I believe, is... The Miz is 1-3, if I'm not mistaken, but you have to think. His one win is over Brock Lesnar. That's like... He might as well be 30-4 as far as he might as well be 30-3. Okay. So we go to the back where Kevin Owens has declared himself as a participant in Battlefield. And then we get a video package from Hikaru Shida, and we talk about that unification match at Battlefield. Basically, it's going to be a 2 out of 3 falls match between Hikaru Shida and Liv Morgan, and the AEW Women's Championship and the NGW Women's Championship will be on the line. Once that match, whoever wins will become the first ever NGW Unified World Women's Champion. Then after that package, we go backstage with the Clique, and they announce Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels, Triple H. They announce the band is back together. Razor Ramon admits that he wants some of that Punk Cedric Alexander with or without that television title. Before that, though, he has a little payback to extract on Tyler Bate and Drew McIntyre. HBK then cuts a promo. I've already put that Scottish Punk McIntyre in his place, not once, but twice. Maybe he'll get it through his thick skull a third time. And then Triple H, I remember the day I signed Cedric in the WWE. I didn't think he turned into this ungrateful, spoiled punk. Looks like I'm going to have to take him back to school. And at that, Triple H pulls out his sledgehammer, and he's admiring it. And this won't be an accelerated course. And then we go to a commercial break, and our next match is actually going to be Disrespected No More against Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels. You got hit with a suplex by Keith Lee? That's fire, dude. I have no in-ring interactions. I cannot do anything in the ring. Oh, no, I don't doubt it, man. And here comes Disrespected No More. They are pissed off after what happened at the beginning of the show with Razor, Shawn, and Triple H, the Clique. And they asked for this tag team match. No, they didn't ask. They demanded this tag team match. Drew McIntyre, Tyler Bate, facing off with Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon. And I'll tell you what, this is a headline. Have I heard of Progress Wrestling? Dude, have you not been to the stream when I've been wearing my Progress shirt? Yeah, I'm a big fan of Progress, or was. I don't watch them. I know they do some stuff now, even though they're kind of under the WWE banner system, but they've gutted the roster. The last Progress show I saw was Walter versus David Starr. But I for several years I watched Progress. I've been a long-time subscriber of Demand Progress. That's pretty dope, Womble. And look at these two. These two could be, I'm going to be honest, just looking at them, these could be strong possibilities in that tag team, the tag team rankings in NGW. Yeah, I've not watched a Progress show since Walter defended the title against David Starr, man. What a shame about David Starr. That guy was like becoming one of my favorite wrestlers in pro wrestling. And then, well, I think we all saw how that turned out. And there he is. The bad guy. Well, yeah, that David Starr situation is a little bit different than being left. It's his, I'm sure you know. Ramon, as always, cool and collected. And this time, unlike it Without Honor, he has allies. He has allies on his side. Tonight, he's teaming with Shawn Michaels, one of his best friends, one of his brothers in arms, to take on Disrespected No More. And I'm telling you right now, you know Razor in the back of his mind, even though he said he wants some of Cedric with or without that title, you know he's thinking about that NGW television title. He had that belt. He was a very competitive reigning champion. He lost it against Cedric Alexander, and I don't know if I guess what many would consider an upset. I guess I would consider an upset. I didn't think Cedric Alexander would pick that win up, but Cedric did. But you have to think, Cedric having that lead pipe, hitting Razor Ramon over the skull 2 weeks before the pay-per-view, what were we expecting? We should have, what's up, Rain? What were we expecting? We should have known that was going to do it. And speaking of allies, there he is, Razor Ramon's partner for the night. Razor Ramon, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels, the Clique, the band is back together. And tonight, Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon, they look to kick it old school as they face off with Disrespected No More, Tyler Bate and Drew McIntyre. And Shawn Michaels already has some history with Drew McIntyre, 2 wins over McIntyre. The first one, he picked up a count-out victory. Oh, you know, he read 50 Shades of Grey, decided, you know what, why not bedazzle a little outfit out, little leather outfit. Hey, have you guys ever tried this little thing? Try it. If you're older, try that and tell me, like, do it without like losing your balance. That shit's kind of hard. When I was a kid and a teenager, I could do that shit all the time, no problems. I try that shit now. I have a feeling I might pull my back. I'm almost too afraid to even try it. And Razor and Tyler Bate starting things off for their respective teams tonight. Razor locking up with Tyler Bate. Bate with a headlock. Bate is giving up a lot of size here, but Bate makes up for it in tenacity and speed. And there's leg scissors from Razor Ramon. Razor Ramon with that leg scissors. Tyler Bate not able to power out of it. Razor Ramon gets up, and we have another lockup. Razor Ramon with back control here on Tyler Bate, dropping Tyler Bate face first, and another headlock and a punch from Razor. I don't think Razor's going to take it easy on this guy at all, not with some of the bad blood that exists between these two. Hip toss from Razor. He just throws Tyler. Tyler not knowing how to respond here. I'll tell you how you respond. Bring in the big guns. Drew Noah, Hurricane Rana. And a kick that Razor catches. And an elbow to the knee. And a sleeper hold. And Tyler Bate fights out of the sleeper hold, dropping Razor Ramon's jaw over his skull. Smart move there from Tyler Bate, but Razor Ramon just has way too much strength as he tags in the Heartbreak Kid. Tyler Bate, I'm telling you, he might need to get to Drew McIntyre and make that tag happen sooner rather than later. But Bate taking control, double underhooks. We have a butterfly suplex there from Tyler Bate. Beautiful. Bate is a fantastic wrestler. Do not let his size fool you. I just think Razor Ramon, as angry and upset as he is over the events that transpired over the last couple of weeks, I don't know if I want to be Tyler Bate in that ring. And there's the Scottish psychopath, Drew McIntyre, who already has issues with Shawn Michaels.
Here we go with Drew McIntyre.
And we have a chain. They're exchanging grapples here. Drew with the headlock. Just wrenching on it. Michaels able to send Drew to the ropes. Misses an elbow. Drew grabs the rope to stop himself from rebounding. Michaels with an Irish whip to the corner. Poor referee there. And there's Razor. Razor getting the tag. McIntyre waiting for Razor. And a suplex from Drew just threw Razor. That's what I'm talking about when the size of Drew's concerned. Look at how he just tossed Razor Ramon. A man about the same size as him. And there's a neck breaker from Razor to Tyler. And those kicks to the back of the leg from Tyler Bate to Razor Ramon. And that right hand from Razor. Razor didn't feel it. And there's a nice arm drag from Tyler Bate, but Razor fires back with a kick. And Razor just dropping an elbow. HBK, the Heartbreak Kid, getting tagged right back in. I'm telling you, I think all 4 of these men we're gonna be talking about them a lot in NGW, but you want to talk about the future of NGW. I hate to say it. I think you're looking at him on that apron out there, Drew McIntyre. That's a guy that I think is, and not taking anything away from Tyler Bate. That's another name that I'm sure we're going to hear a lot from in the future. I don't like where they're at right now with Disrespect to No More, but I have to say their future's bright. But Drew McIntyre, that right there is probably going to be my pick for Battlefield. He just has too much size. He's too aggressive. And now Tyler Bate tagging Drew McIntyre in. Let's see what this guy can do. Let's see what Drew McIntyre can do here to Shawn. Shawn able to roll through that whip, and a drop toe from Shawn. There's that veteran experience from Shawn Michaels showing through. Just able to pull those counters off on McIntyre. And Razor getting back in the ring. Razor, he's going to return the favor to Drew, picking Drew up with a vertical suplex. What a slam. And Drew, he's helping Drew get back to his feet. And a Russian leg sweep from Razor to Drew. And McIntyre able to counter, though. Razor Ramon not able to maintain that offense for very long. Drew in control here now. And a back suplex. Again, look at how Drew's able to lift Razor. That strength from Drew is nearly unmatched. But Razor with a shoulder tackle and a pin. Drew kicking out before the 1 count. Shawn Michaels telling Razor to focus. There's a strike to the back. Razor's hand on the rope. Tyler Bates tagged back in. And Bate with a rolling kick, catching, blindsiding Razor Ramon. And that's what I said. Bate has the speed. And he actually has serious knockout power with some of those strikes. Do not underestimate him. Razor Ramon may be the bigger man. And Razor popping him with a close fist there. And a slap to the back of the head. No respect from Razor. Razor taking the back and a swinging neck breaker from Tyler Bate. Razor tagging at Shawn. And a flying elbow from Michaels. Michaels back to his feet. Bate, though, strike to the midsection. And Michaels fires back with a strike. We might have some blood here, folks. Referee has the gloves on. I don't see the cut. Bate, Tiger Driver from Tyler Bate. And Razor Ramon not on the apron. Shawn Michaels kicks out at 2. Razor Ramon not able to break that up. He's out recovering outside the ring. And Shawn just picking Tyler Bate up. And a kick stopping Tyler Bate in the back. And a right hand from Michaels. 2 right hands. A third one dropping Bate. And an elbow drop. That's the thing about Michaels. He does everything with intention. He dropped him with 3 punches and immediately followed up with an elbow. No spacing. Super kick. No, Bate catches it. Bate catches a super kick. And we're about to see some sweet chin music. And Tyler Bate with that rolling kick blocked this time. And Michaels with another close fist punch of his own. And Drew gets tagged in, and Michaels not looking ready to fight Drew. Drew with a clothesline, dropping Michaels to the canvas. Michaels not prepared for this Scottish psychopath. And McIntyre with a headbutt that's blocked. Michaels throws the elbow up, catching McIntyre on the bridge of the nose. What up, Big Roddy? Roddy, you lost your War Games match, man. And Michaels picked up and dropped. And McIntyre with the right hand. McIntyre picks Michaels up. And he just drops Michaels across that top rope. In our main event, Zero Gravity title match, Johnny Gargano defending that belt against Kalisto. Michaels dropping Drew McIntyre. Razor getting back in the ring, the bad guy. This is where it all started. It all started with when Drew McIntyre and Tyler Bate helped Cedric attack Razor Ramon, and Razor Ramon with the Razor's Edge. No, your team gave up. Razor's Edge from Razor. Drew is out. And Drew able to kick out of a Razor's Edge. What power! And Drew ducks a clothesline. My God! And McIntyre getting tagged in. Or Tyler Bate getting tagged in. Sorry. Axe handle smash from the middle rope. Bate dragging Razor Ramon. Where's he taking him? To the corner there. And Razor Ramon reverses out of the corner. Bate fights out of the corner though, and a Hurricane Rana. Bate able to stand in there toe-to-toe with Razor Ramon despite the size difference. A major size difference there between Bate and Razor. But he's able to go toe-to-toe with Razor here. And a knee from Bate. Bate measured that knee. But Razor catches the second kick. And an Irish whip from Razor to Drew, or to Tyler. But Tyler still fights out of that corner. And that's okay, Razor had it scouted. Razor had it scouted, strike to the back. From Razor to Tyler. Tyler in the air, choke slam from Razor Ramon. We've seen him use that time and time again. Tyler with the cover, or Tyler covered, and Drew breaking it up. Tyler also kicking out. Razor rolls away from that grapple. Bate misses the rolling kick again. I don't know if I'd be going for that move any longer. And an elbow drop from Razor. And Razor choking out Tyler Bate. And Razor dropping that elbow on Tyler. Tyler, though, forearm. Another running Hurricane Rana from Tyler. And a standing shooting star press. Bate has a lot of familiarity with that zero gravity division, the zero gravity rules, and a punch that just wallops Razor from Tyler Bate. There's that striking that I talked about from Bate. And look at what does Bate have here. Bate getting a submission. Bate working on his, oh my, just on that shoulder of Razor. Bate is a dangerous, dangerous man. Do not let the size fool you. Bate continuing to work on Razor's shoulder. Razor in a lot of pain there. Irish whip from Bate to Razor. But Razor with the boot up, able to fight out of that corner. Suplex from Razor to Tyler. What's up, awesome? How you living, man? Razor daring Drew McIntyre get in the ring. McIntyre wants to get in there, but he knows the referee's not going to let him. And Razor just arrogantly goes for a cover in front of Drew that Tyler Bate kicks out of. Razor and Sean trying to teach disrespect no more a lesson here. You're in like 4 E-Feds? Jesus. I think you did pick one already. I'm pretty sure you did. I don't remember who, though. Let me look. You picked Tyler Breeze. You're actually in a match tonight now that I think about it. And there's a punch from Razor to Drew. You're wrestling Aleister Black tonight. I forgot all about that. And Razor, he's got Drew McIntyre primed. It's Razor's Edge. McIntyre in the air. Razor's Edge from Razor Ramon. Drew out. And a pin from Razor. And Tyler Bate breaks the pin up. Michaels gets in the ring. There might not be nothing left of Drew after this match. Razor with a second Razor's Edge. He said, why not do a second one right after? And Drew dropped to the canvas. And a pin. And Tyler Tyler just narrowly breaking it up. Razor just dropping him on his ribcage. Razor not letting McIntyre get that tag. He just stays on top of Drew, but Drew blocks a punch. Fires back with a Glasgow kiss. That headbutt caught Razor Ramon flush. And Razor kicks out. My God, what a brawl here. What a Pier 6 brawl between Razor and Drew. Those are two wrestlers I'd like to see in that ring one-on-one. How does that not hurt your voice? That's a good question. I don't know. I was able to rest over the weekend and recover. And Drew throws some strikes there. Clothesline. There's a shoulder block from Razor to Drew. Well, it's not 2 a.m. here. And Drew makes the tag to Tyler Bate. Bate with a beautiful drop kick. What an excellent drop kick from Bate there. And Bate standing on top of Razor. What has Bate got set up here? I'm not even sure Bate knows. I'm not sure Bate knows. It doesn't matter because Razor just pushes Bate to the canvas. Drew not on that apron. Drew recovering. Wait, Drew getting back to his feet, it looks like. Bulldog from Tyler Bate. And Bate drops a plants Razor Ramon with a DDT. And another standing shooting star press from Tyler Bate that's never unimpressive. It's always impressive to see Bate with that standing shooting star press. And Bate tried to punch that missed. And Ramon with the low blow to end the match. Like we said, Razor was not looking for a win here. He was looking to get his hands on Bate and Drew, and he did just that. I can't believe. Why did they give this motherfucker a low blow? Are you kidding me? That's the second time we've seen that, and I'm counting it this time. Razor disrespected no more. Win by disqualification. They win by disqualification. Jesus. That takes Razor Ramon to 0-1. But that's okay. We're going to present that as that's kind of what Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon wanted to do. They want to get their hands dirty tonight. They weren't looking to win. They wanted to get their hands dirty. They wanted a fight, and they got one. They got a fight. We got Razor Ramon dropping, who did he drop? Tyler Bate with a low blow. So Drew McIntyre and Tyler Bate are 1-0 in tag team action. So I could take that. See, there you go. Okay, we're not done though. We're not done at all. So what happens next is after that low blow, a brawl breaks out. Because look, Razor and Shawn, they didn't really care about wrestling tonight. They just wanted to get in a fight with Disrespected No More. So they start fighting all around ringside. Disrespected No More, they're in control. Jeff Hardy comes running down the ramp with a steel chair. And he chases off Tyler Bate and Drew McIntyre. Oh, we got some bits. I love to see that. He chases off Bate and McIntyre, and he starts slamming the chair on the ground. Just slamming it on the ring. And he dares Bate and McIntyre to get back in that ring. And Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels, they stand side by side with Jeff. And they want Drew and they want Tyler Bate to get back in there. And of course they don't. And that takes us to our next match. Thanks for the biddies, my friend. Awesome Sword. You're the best. Takes us to our next match. Mia Yim versus Lana. He said, Jeff, why? Why, Jeff? Drew, aren't you Apollo Crews? Remind me who you are. Let me look. Don't even remind me. I'll just look. What is Jeff doing? We're going to find out. We will find out later. Biddies to see the titties, huh? Yeah, you're Apollo Crews. Why are you hating on Jeff? Why are you hating on Jeff? And there's Lana. Lana in the NGW women's division. She's looking to pick up another win here. What is her record, though? I don't remember what her record is. Lana's 2-0. Wow, Lana's 2-0. That's impressive. I didn't know that. Okay. Well, this is a big win. This is a big match for Lana because this might even have ranking implications if she wins. And who is playing Lana? Let me see who's playing Lana here. Oh, wow. Is that Drew? You're playing Lana. See, Drew, you're invested in the stories that I'm telling. That's good. That's good. And there's Mia Yim. Mia Yim without her tag partner, Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan is in ultra preparation, has been training, actually has a fight camp, has a training camp, prepared for Hikaru Shida at NGW Battlefield Japan. And that's why you don't see her out here. Otherwise, you know Mia Yim, ride or die. Liv Morgan, ride or die for Mia Yim, and Mia Yim the same way. If Liv Morgan did not have that match to train for, you know we'd see that women's championship tonight. And Liv Morgan and Mia Yim, they celebrated all over New Jersey. We saw some of their posts on Twitter. We saw some of their posts on Twitter after winning that women's championship for Liv Morgan beating Alexa Bliss. These two ladies are on cloud nine. And let's talk about Mia Yim's record for a second here. Mia Yim, I believe, is 2-3. She's on a negative skid here. If she picks up this win over Lana, not only does she rout Lana's 2-0 undefeated streak, but she evens out her record at 3-3. And there she is, slamming Lana to the canvas there. Yim immediately starting off aggressive. And with Mia Yim, it's definitely nothing personal. There's a Yoshi Tonic, it looks like. Sunset Bomb. Yim's a scrapper. She likes to fight. She's never, there's not a fight she's not liked. We saw what she did. She nearly, how she hurt herself to take out Carmella ahead of that cage match between Liv Morgan and Sasha Banks. How crazy was that? Hey, Umbreon567 has joined the Bad Guy Club. As a member of the club, you receive a pair of sunglasses, a switchblade, and a leather jacket. So thank you for joining the Baddest Club on Twitch TV, and remember to stay bad, because being bad is fun. Welcome to the club, Umbreon. And Yim picking up Lana. Overhead throw there, follow away slam from Mia Yim. And Lana in that corner just taking a series of kicks from Yim. And don't forget about that athleticism from Lana, former dancer. We've seen some of the things she's been able to do in that rank since showing up in NGW. You cannot underestimate her. She is 2-0 for a reason, ladies and gentlemen. Headlock from Lana there, taking control of this match. Lana really cranking in on that headlock. Yes, DQs are losses, so you did take a loss tonight, Harpy. And a swinging neck breaker from Lana. And Lana, looks like Lana's going to the top rope. Lana always bringing new moves out of her arsenal. And a splash from the top, but Mia Yim gets her knees up. Yes, that was a tag team loss. That would be a tag team loss. And there's a drop toe hold from Lana, and Lana walking on Mia Yim's back. That was a little disrespectful. I'm not sure Mia Yim's the person I would piss off. Lana not caring, though, just slamming Mia Yim to the canvas by the head. And there's an arm drag for Mia Yim. And a snap suplex from Mia Yim to Lana. And now Mia Yim going for a pin. I don't know when. I just know it's tonight. I don't know the full lineup. I'd have to go and look. And there's elbows for Mia Yim to Lana on the top of the head. And there's a kick to Lana's midsection. And Mia Yim picking Lana up. Bear hug for Mia Yim. But Lana able to get out of it using those elbows to loosen the grip from Mia Yim. And wow, slapping those ears. That's a tactic that you don't see very often in today's wrestling. Beautiful tactic from Lana. Lana's been studying. And what a slam from Lana. Lana looking impressive tonight, folks. She has a pin on Mia Yim, 2 count.
That would have been a shocker.
You got to think both of these women are primed for that Battlefield. The Battlefield Battle Royal coming up on pay-per-view in just, 3 weeks? I think we're 14 days away. I don't know how long we're away, folks. I think we have it coming up in 2 weeks. And oh my God, is Lana gonna fly here? Through the middle rope with a suicide dive. Lana showing us a side we've yet to see. And now we're beginning to understand just why she's 2-0 in NGW. But Mia Yim fighting back with the Hurricane Rana. You know Liv Morgan at her training camp. You know she's watching this match. Mia Yim is her homegirl. And there's a punch. Lana misses. I'm deleting those messages. And Mia Yim might get counted out here. I just don't really like that language in my chat, man. And Lana picking up a big win. Lana is now 3-0, winning by countout. Lana said she's going to win by any means necessary to climb up that ladder. Damn, dude, Mia Yim is now 2-4. Huge win for Lana. Lana's 3-0, guys. We might be looking at a future title contender. Holy crap. After the match, we go backstage. We get a video package. We get a Jungle Boy training montage as he prepares for his match with Kenny Omega next week. Remember, that's the main event of next week, Kenny Omega versus Jungle Boy. And Jungle Boy has these parting words for Kenny Omega. He says, I will be the one to beat Kenny Omega. I will be the one going to Battlefield Japan. And then we go to a commercial. And when we come back from our commercial break, we have our main event of tonight. Kalisto. I try to keep it family friendly. And if you haven't noticed, you can definitely just look at the chat and tell that I don't tolerate that kind of language. It's kind of like a common sense thing. No one else is talking like that. So I'm not going to update my rules. I'm just going to warn you not to do it again. And we have Johnny Gargano defending that Zero Gravity title against Kalisto. And Kalisto has been on a tear in NGW. And next week, you saw that Jungle Boy montage. You saw Jungle Boy training. Next week, Kenny Omega defends the NGW World Championship against Jungle Boy. Dude, there were 3 jingles tonight, and I forgot to sing all of them. I'm just going to sing Tyler Breeze's theme song. Is it my eyes when you look at me? They are so gorgeous. They'll set you free. Tyler Breeze used to be one of my guys. I don't even remember the other jingles tonight. But there were 2 more I was supposed to sing. Kalisto is 3-0. And I believe Johnny Gargano is 3-0. So, damn, this is going to be a hell of a match. Falls count anywhere, Zero Gravity, baby. And there he is, Gargano with that fantastic performance against Daniel Bryan. That submission-only match at Without Honor. He was able to submit Daniel Bryan with the Gargano escape. He might have to use that again tonight against Kalisto. Kalisto, a different wrestler than Daniel Bryan. Not so much a submission specialist. Kalisto is going to be looking to mix up striking and high-flying maneuvers to stay ahead of Johnny Gargano, and that's what Gargano is going to have to look for. If I'm Johnny Gargano, we already know what Johnny Gargano can do from a submission standpoint. We already know what he can do from a technical standpoint. The key to Johnny Gargano winning this match is to start on the legs of Kalisto to slow him down. If you can work on those legs, if you can cut that speed, you can also cut into some of Kalisto's high flying. The keys for Kalisto, if I'm Kalisto, if I'm winning this match, I'm thinking, 1, we're not letting this fight get to the ground. We're not gonna do any chain wrestling. No grappling. We're not gonna exchange with Gargano. Gargano might actually have the edge when it comes to the grappling department. If I'm Kalisto, I'm gonna look to work Johnny Gargano down with some strikes, work on some strikes to the body, slow down his movement, and then I'm gonna focus on getting my high flying in order. I might even utilize outside of the ring because falls count anywhere. It might be beneficial for Kalisto to take the fight outside. There's a lot more obstacles that you can do offensive maneuvers off of outside. Jumping off the guardrail, using the apron. Don't forget the ramp. We saw what happened with Apollo Crews and Jeff Hardy as Kalisto backs Gargano into the corner there, and that's a clean break. There is respect between these two men, which is, I can't say the same thing for Jungle Boy and Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega has no respect for Jungle Boy. Hurricane Rana from Johnny Gargano. And now look, and that's what I'm talking about. You don't want Gargano to work on the body like that. That's not a good position for Kalisto to be in. Kalisto just, that arm and that shoulder being targeted. The bicep. And Kalisto able to take control, though. Now he's in control of the match. He has Gargano up. What does he have? He has his neck tucked in. What is this? Oh my God! What do you call that? Just dropping Gargano on his neck. And a crucifix bomb. More focus on the neck from Kalisto. It sounds like Kalisto had a game plan out here. He had a game plan prepared for this match, but Gargano counters with an arm drag. Kalisto sidesteps that drop kick. Gargano blocks a punch and fires back with a punch to the midsection. Zero Gravity title on the line, folks. Snap suplex from Kalisto. And Kalisto looking for an early pin here. It's not going to be enough. Gargano kicks out before the referee even makes a 1 count. But Kalisto has the right idea. In this match as soon as possible. You never know what is going to end this. You never know what's going to be that magic move that prevents Gargano from kicking out. And I can't blame Kalisto seeking an early pin and a beautiful head scissors takeover. But Gargano flips back to his feet. And Kalisto able to meet him with an Irish whip. And this match is going to be too fast to call, folks. Too fast to call. Gargano in control right now. Kalisto able to just fire out of that, though. It looks like Kalisto able to break that grapple. And there's a punch from Kalisto. Gargano in the corner now. And Kalisto with a beautiful kick from the middle rope right into Gargano's chest. And Kalisto looks like he's going for another pin here. I'm really liking Kalisto's execution tonight. But it's still not even a 1 count. He's still going to need to do more work. But you have to give Kalisto props. Kalisto really looking, he's really looking to win that title. He's wasting no time. And Kalisto posing there. A few ribs may be broken there. No kidding. And another one from Kalisto. He's really targeting that body now. What's Kalisto got planned? And another stomp to the ribs. My Lord, Kalisto with a game plan in motion tonight, folks. But Gargano able to break out of that grapple and fires off a punch. And there's Kalisto with a roll through and a kick from Kalisto to Gargano. Gargano just collapsed into the canvas. This might be Kalisto's match. How much did Daniel Bryan take out of Johnny Gargano without honor? That's the real question. This isn't a Gargano I'm familiar with seeing. Gargano kick to the midsection, and there's a step up into Guri. That's what Gargano needed to get back in control of this match. Irish rip from Gargano. And Gargano targeting, a bullseye. Kalisto going face first into that turnbuckle, and there's a pin from Gargano. Kalisto able to kick out. He got a 2 count, though. I don't really do that, Awesome. I'm not a fan of that. I don't like doing that much. Maybe if there's like a serious storyline where like someone gets attacked or something before a pay-per-view, but I try not to do that. And wait, there's a Salida del Sol. No, Gargano catches a power slam. Fiend versus, come on. We've seen Fiend versus Seth. Hell in a Cell, man. I hated it. Not very well done at all. And Gargano tackling Kalisto to the outside. Remember, zero gravity rules. It's legal out here, folks. No countouts. Referee going to follow behind them. And a neck breaker from Gargano to Kalisto. And now Gargano going for another pin. Only a 1 count this time. Kalisto back to his feet. And there's a step up enziguri that misses from Gargano. Kalisto now trying to take advantage of it. And how excellent of Gargano to be able to scout that Salida del Sol and block it. Block it and drop Kalisto with a power slam. There's a fireman's carry from Gargano. But the perfect match would be Andre the Giant versus Undertaker. I don't know if that... What's your definition of perfect? No, I don't actually. I don't really have time to watch other ones. Hurricane Rana from Johnny Gargano. And there's a knee from Gargano. And Gargano, he's the Gargano escape. That Gargano escape on the rampway. There's nowhere for Kalisto to go. Kalisto might have to tap. He's either going to have to tap or find a way out of it. Looks like he's found a way out of it. Knees to the head. He somehow got leverage on that submission. And Gargano just being sent to that ring post. And now Kalisto going for a pin. And Gargano kicks out at 2. This has been intense. The front row crowd, the crowd and the people in the front row, folks in the front row getting a first-hand look at that Gargano escape, a second one. Is Kalisto going to be able to get out of this a second time? Is he going to be able to get out of this a second time? He's trying. They know Gargano, let's go. Gargano, let's go. I don't know if I would have done that. But Kalisto back to his feet. It just tosses Gargano into that barricade. And just a series of punches dropping Gargano. And now Kalisto trying to grapple with Gargano. I don't know if this is a smart decision, but he focuses on that shoulder. And a kick from Kalisto to Gargano. And Gargano just being thrown across the ring. Referee just watching this. This might be a pin here, folks. We might have a new Zero Gravity Champion. No, Gargano kicks out.
Wow, I am impressed.
And Kalisto cannot believe it. And there's a chop from Kalisto. A spinning back kick from Kalisto. And Kalisto in the air. Gargano, no, a Hurricane Rana and a pin from Kalisto. And wait, Gargano reverses. And Kalisto kicks out. Wow, I thought Gargano was going to steal that. Dragon screw from Kalisto. Now, blood's turned on. And wait, there's a Salida del Sol. Kalisto got it. No, Johnny Gargano. Ladies and gentlemen, Gargano has kicked out of the Salida del Sol on the outside. And this Kalisto just being thrown across the ringside. And Gargano's got a pin. I don't think Kalisto saw that coming. Nope, wait, Kalisto figures out a way to get out of it. And Kalisto and Gargano going back to the ring where it all started. What a fantastic title match this has been. Yeah, zero gravity matches are false count anywhere. And there's an Irish whip from Gargano to Kalisto. They bump into each other, though, and Kalisto able to take advantage. Forearm. And it looks like we have a Yoshi Tonic from Kalisto. And Kalisto with a pin. And Johnny Gargano kicking out. Kalisto beside himself. And there's a forearm for Kalisto. But Gargano with an Irish whip, sending Kalisto over the top rope and on the apron. And what does Gargano have planned here? Oh my God. No, DDT! That's it! That's gotta be it! And it's all over. Damn, Gargano with an impressive defense to close out NGW Shockwave tonight. Gargano is now 4-0. That was fantastic. Gargano just hit to the post. Let's look at some of these highlights. I thought that was going to be it. And how about that Salida del Sol outside of the ring, where I swear I thought Kalisto was going to be the new Zero Gravity Champion, but Gargano does it again. What's up, Charisma? Hey, you missed your match. You won again. Gargano does it again. He pulls off another big victory. What a big win over Kalisto. And that's going to take us. And that's it for Shockwave. We will see you next week. Kenny Omega defends the NGW World Champion against Jungle Boy.